y'all, and welcome back to the channel, honey. I know I'm a little bit behind, but we are back to fix all of that. If you guys are new here, my name is Ashley and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. And honey, this birthday weekend, baby, listen, I am still trying to get my rest, okay, and fully recover from it, but that doesn't stop YouTube, right? And we have got reviews and things to talk about. I am coming back though right now to give kind of a mini recap review of the Never Ever Mets episode 5, Love Hangover. There is no love. There's no love. Not that I can see, y'all. But yeah, let's get into it. We moved right into this episode, and first and foremost, I just want to say finally, okay, because it was time for Brendan and Sienna to get the heck up out of there, okay? This is not a friendship situation. This is to see if you're gonna make it in love. And with Brandon standing on big business and saying there was not a future of any romantic kind for he and Sienna, Taronda came in and politely excused them. There were no goodbyes. There were no tears from anyone else in the house. It was just a clear and concise goodbye. And I'm absolutely here for that. Pastor and First Lady, they're kind of into it. We know the night before, First Lady got on her soapbox and was giving Jody the business all about how Chris and she are carrying on while Sandia, you know, I guess is the hopeless housewife. I don't know. And so Pastor says, you know what, Diamond, I'm on your side. I stand 10 toes down for mine. And so goes on and decides that he is going to create an altercation with Jody. And this isn't the first that we're seeing, and I don't think it'll be the last that we're seeing this type of behavior from a senior pastor. Because yeah, he went in there on a tirade going at Jody, and this time Jody was quiet, honey. Jody ain't had to say today. But yeah, you know, if my woman's right or wrong, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down for her. Diamonds in the back, First Lady, kikiing about the whole situation. It was really quite disturbing, because why are you, this grown A man, coming in there to address Jody about something that's really not your business? He basically goes on to say, Junior, give it a couple months, you'll be calling me, and I want you to call me when this doesn't work out, because Jody don't want you. All right, this is not the situation. She's not a good woman, all these things. I mean, he let her have it. A good old church read, okay, is what he did. And Jody sat there, mums the word. First Lady said, oh, I liked it. Senior pastor stood on big business, and I love that for me. He rides for me. He has my back, okay? And so that kind of then breeds the conversation of, since everybody in the house is talking about Jody, who else is talking about her and didn't say it? Chris decides he's going to get his broke down safari self up and say, you know what? I just want to say, Jody, I've never said anything bad about you. You're my favorite person in the house. And meanwhile, he's looking at Millie. And Millie jumped bad this time. You know, he said, okay, first of all, why are we worried about who your favorite is in the house? Your favorite should be your woman, Sandia. That's who I want to know if you like. Do you like her? Is she your favorite? And Chris is like, well, I don't argue with women. Millie said, well, you looked in my direction, okay? Greg said, not going to be too much of that now, Chris. And I said, okay, okay, Greg. But Millie let him have it, you know, just drama we didn't need. Now, Chris, honey, he and Sandia decide that they are going to first, did they do the ropes or did they go to therapy? Sandia, no, they just talk. And Chris is like, man, that's crazy. Sandia said, that's too, you know, and they want me to say something, but that's just not me. I am just, you know, a quiet girl living in my quiet world. That's all I can do. And Chris is like, yeah, I know. That's not your personality, all of that. Next thing we see, they are doing the Yabari rope method, which y'all couldn't find nothing else to do. Basically, I believe it's called Yabari, whatever. It's this thing where partners get together, they tie themselves up in ropes to achieve some sort of gratification and pleasure. Honey, the first time I heard about it was on The Good Wife with one of the serial unalivers, okay? I'm just gonna sit it right there. And so they decide they're gonna participate. Everybody's feeling it, but of course Jody, most of the men tied them right with the ropes. In their case, honey, Junior and Jody's, Jody wanted to tie him up. I don't know why she wants to tie her little brother up. But anyway, again, a pointless lesson, you know, the whole thing, you know, if you do it right, it's pleasure. If you do it wrong, you know, you can take them out. Again, how did that bring anyone closer? I have no idea. Next scene, we see Sandia and Chris, and they are talking to a therapist, and he's saying, you know, I really don't need to be here. She's just so emotional. Every time she tries to communicate, it's with emotion. She's like, Sandia, do you agree with that? Sandia is like a little church mouse. If she stays with him, he's just going to continue to run all over her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she says after, you know, if he doesn't get it together, I don't think I can be with him. And I'm like, girl, the way it's looking, you're going to be with him no matter how he acts, what he does, whatever. You know what I mean? It just, it didn't give. So now after therapy, they decide they're going to play another game in the house. Since Jody is a sexologist by trade, right, by career choice, they are basically, guess who said it, right, or whose line was that, right? But it's all going to be sexual stuff, right? So the first one is like, you know, who has been wanting to participate in an orgy but hasn't been able to? And everyone's like, oh, it is Junior, Aaron Jr., Aaron Jr., Aaron Jr. Turns out it's her. She wants the orgy. Again, I don't get to know these people on a real level. Connect with your person. Why do we have to do all of these things in mixed company? I just don't understand it, y'all. Somebody put it in the chat and let me know. Is it for our entertainment? Is it for our entertainment? Because that's not exactly what it's giving. Then we have a conversation, and JR Jr., Aaron Jr., basically says, you know, he doesn't feel as though he will add up or measure up to Jody sexually, right? Because she's a sex therapist. She knows all about it. And he's just trying to find his way. I want them to stop playing and tell the whole truth. Hopefully in episode 6, the truth comes out about these two, because they're playing in all of our faces. She do not want that man. She do not like that man. And quiet as it's kept, I don't think he does either. I just don't. Jody, later, we hear her talking to Sandia because, you know, she's trying to make nice with Sandia since, you know, the dramas with the man, Chris. And she's like, you know, I'm just, you know, they could call me a man eater. You know, once I get the draws, I don't want them anymore. I get bored. Well, sis, you're already bored. You're already bored. I don't know. I don't know if Jody knows how this is presenting or coming across. Finally, honey, we get to the drama, which stop doing to this all the networks who do reality TV. Don't wait till the last 5 minutes to give us the show, okay? So Diamond's family comes, and Pastor's friend for 30-something years comes, okay? They kick it off, the bros, you know, Pastor and his friend. We have, you know, hey, man, what's going on? What's going on? You really ready to marry? Or marriage? Didn't you just propose to somebody else? Is what it gave. Next, we see Diamond's sis Irene, who's not playing games with nobody. She ain't gonna fake it to make it. We find out about a Facebook conversation, because apparently that's where they rest and reside, on the Facebook. And, you know, Irene got into it with Pastor on the Facebook, and he said all the things. They get there talking. Diamond's blushing. Oh, he cried when we first met. Irene's like, I do not care, sis. You deserve better. You know, he was proposed to a whole nother woman. You know what I mean? What are you going to do with that? And so Diamond proceeds to tell us this story about how, you know, it was the distance. A woman he proposed to had been there all his whole life. She was right there. And he knew she wasn't the one after he proposed. And she said, I don't know. Well, dang. I guess so, bruh. She said, I don't know. And so I'm like, Diamond, that's good enough for you? It just didn't track for me. And so I kind of feel Irene, but also on the other hand, sis, you can't be more upset than Diamond is about the situation. Well, Irene is cussing and fussing, honey. Next thing we see, Aaron Sr., Pastor, come in the room, and he's cussing back and fussing back. His energy for women is not okay for me. The producers had to hold him back. And I want to rewind to episode 2, where he's talking to Alexis about Ike. And this episode, I mean, you're giving Ike. Now, I know Irene talked about your kids, talked about your mammy, your pappy too. But that's no justification. You're not that mad. You don't know this lady. she could talk, but he called her all kind of ugly somebody. I mean, it was just very ugly and disturbing for a man of his great enormous age. I don't like it. I didn't like it one bit. But again, it got cut off. You know what I mean? That was the end of episode 5, Love Hangover. And there's no love, y'all. Drop it in the comments below. Let me know what you thought. Okay, and if you're still here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And family, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.